The first lesson that I learned on my trip to Brazil is that I should have brought some coins. Let me explain. When I arrived at the Sao Paulo airport, I took an Uber to the center of the city, and my driver barely spoke any English. But he was trying to connect, he was trying to make conversation, and he found out I was from Canada, and he asked if I had any coins from my country. He wasn't looking to make money, he was just looking for a souvenir from the person who might be the first Canadian that he had met in his life. And in that moment, I thought about all these little coins that I had left on a table back home just before leaving for the airport. And I thought about how something so ordinary can seem extraordinary to people from far away. You'd think after 10 years of traveling the world, I would begin to learn lessons like this, to remember little things like this. But travel has a way of teaching you, reminding you over and over how little you know. Travel keeps you humble. Travel forces you into unfamiliar environments where you make mistakes. This video is my experience trying to understand this great city. Along the way, I meet Brazilians who will offer little insights into what life is like in Sao Paulo and teach me, along with you, about this city. There'll be no shortage of mistakes along the way. And at the end of the video, I'm going to share something quite unfortunate that happened. I ran into a bad situation. But before that, we're going to explore a few different neighborhoods in my 100 hours that I had there. So I hope you enjoy the ride. 100 hours in Sao Paulo begins right now. Chapter 1, The Berlin Wall.
It's actually a bunk bed, but this was the only single room available. Nice little mirror. And when we take a look outside, all kinds of plants right out the window. Love to see that. I just took a little walk out of my hostel, and I didn't know where I was going to go, but I found this place with a nice set menu. Yeah, it was definitely not a touristy restaurant. I mean, it was more of a bakery, actually. It was a bakery that had a set menu, and the food came out. It was delicious. It was so much food. And just when you think it's all over, they bring you dessert, which I didn't even know was included, but look at this place they built. Amigos do Bosque Madalena. Beautiful little forest area. Look at this public library. I imagine this is a take a book, leave a book situation. First impressions of Sao Paulo. Artwork everywhere. Chill vibes. It's just a beautiful city to walk around. I mean, is that an avocado? Look at the size of that thing. Oh wait, did that fall from that tree? What in the heck are those?
The following day, something cool happened. It was mostly Brazilians staying at the hostel, guest house that I was staying at. But I met one guy who spoke English, and he was originally from Germany.
I'm walking with a new friend from the same hotel as me, Christian.
Listen.
Nice to meet you, Christian.
Nice to meet you too.
You are living in Brazil?
Yes, I'm living in Brazil.
In Florianopolis?
Yes, in Florianopolis.
Can you share a bit about why you moved to Brazil, or?
No, because I met my wife, my Brazilian wife, and I wanted always to live in another area very different from my hometown.
And you told me your hometown is Berlin.
Yeah, my hometown is Berlin.
Wow. And how was it learning Portuguese? Was it hard?
Took some time, but as everybody spoke, when I came first to Brazil, northeast of Brazil, a city called Salvador.
Salvador, yeah.
Nobody spoke any German. Almost nobody spoke any English, so the only language spoken was Portuguese all day, all night, and so you learn. Not so difficult.
Wow.
It was 95. Today, more people speak English in Salvador.
Have you seen Brazil change a lot through the years?
got more, I think I would say it got more international.
Yeah.
The touristic places. Oh, that's great. Most dangerous thing is the transit here.
Yeah,
traffic.
It's hard to know when to cross sometimes, huh? Yeah. Was it hard to adapt to life in Brazil?
No, not so much. Well, I would say, I don't know if other people agree, I am flexible.
I think you have to be flexible because when I think about Germany, Germany is a country, again, this is not true for everyone, but it's a country where things are always on time. Germans are like very orderly about some things, whereas Brazil feels way more relaxed.
Yeah, but
if you meet someone, they might show up on time, they might not, you know.
But Köln is an exception. Köln is more Brazilian-like than any other place in Germany.
Okay, Berlin is the Brazilian city.
The question is, I already had to adapt when I was from East Berlin. So from East Germany, ceased to exist.
Oh, so you remember the Soviet era?
Yeah.
Wow.
So East Germany finished to exist, and I had to adapt to another Germany, the United Germany.
Wow.
It was not. It wasn't, of course, the same language, the same culture, but another economical and social system.
Wow.
I had already. Even I was continuing to live in the same place. I had to adapt to another social and economic system. Then the wall fell down, and of course, like everybody, I started to do journeys I couldn't do before. The 29 years before I couldn't do. Brazil, I came later. Brazil.
Ah, you have an interesting life story.
No, that's what mine. That means maybe I got trained.
Yeah.
I was forced to adapt a little bit. I don't live anymore in Germany, so in my neighborhood I'm only German. I'm not East or West. For my neighbors, which are all Brazilians or Argentinians, I'm only German. I'm not from East or West. They forgot that there were two Germans.
Wow.
So, but if I would live in Germany still, I would feel this tensions. But so I've lived so far away in a completely different world.
You managed to escape the.
It's not my business. This problems between East and West Germany are no longer, for more than 20 years, my business. I live in a completely different world.
So this place we're checking out is a very traditional style of restaurant in Brazil. So you weigh your food by the kilo and that decides how much you pay. I'm excited. Let's check this out. Oh, Oktoberfest. Germany is following you.
This is from our state. We have a brewery, it's called Eisenbahn, means railway.
Nice.
You can take your plate,
put whatever you want and then weigh.
Put on a balance here. The balance is there.
Obrigado. Oh, this looks good. Great meal. That cost me about 40. I think that was pretty good value. Let me know if you're Brazilian, if you agree with that. I think now me and Christian are about to grab a coffee at a little cafe if we can find one. And I have another friend who's going to be meeting us. His name is Lucas, and Lucas has actually been watching my YouTube channel, and when he saw I was coming to Sao Paulo, he reached out and offered to meet up or offer some advice. So we will be keeping our eyes out for Lucas. But for the moment, let's grab a coffee. What do you think? We can take a walk?
I think we passed in front.
Oh,
hello, Dan.
hey, good to see you, Lucas.
Good to see you.
Great to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
This is
Nice
Christian.
to meet you, too.
I
Nice
think
to
I
meet
mentioned.
you,
Yeah,
Christian.
we just had a lunch.
How was it?
It was great.
That's great.
Yeah.
What do you guys have?
No, comida aqui, monte de verduras e frutas e não sei o quê.
Where are you from?
Não sou alemão, mas eu moro lá no Floripa, em Santa
And how do you speak so good?
Não, eu vivo no Brasil, não falo bom, eu falo com um sotaque terrível.
It's not terrible, it's great. What the fuck? I'm impressed.
Não, eu moro no Brasil, por isso. Então, se você na nossa vida não fala português, você está perdido.
Há quanto tempo?
Ó, décadas, 20 anos.
Wow.
Por isso,
Amazing, right?
Por isso meu português,
amazing.
não, por isso meu português deveria ser melhor, sem esse sotaque pesadíssimo. Covid.
Oh, 2022.
By the way, this is interesting to me because in Canada, like the gate would always go up, but here it goes out. So if you're not careful, it can like hit you when you're walking, right?
That can happen.
If you're walking, you can just boom.
Yeah.
So Lucas, how did you come to know my videos?
I came across you then, I think it was a few years ago,
Yeah.
when you recently moved to Montreal, I think. And I was interested in the city, and the video popped up. And then I watched some of your other videos. You seemed like a very insightful guy sometimes. Most of the times, your videos can be very insightful. So
I'm less insightful in real life. I use the editing to seem insightful. So Lucas just recommended us a coffee shop that's inside of this bookstore area. Harry Potter. You're right, this place looks so small from the street, but it just continues and continues. Oh, this is nice. And so Lucas, you were born in Sao Paulo.
I was born here, yes.
What are your thoughts about your city? Are you proud of your city? Are there things you like, things you don't like?
I love the city. I like to say that São Paulo has many faces. You could stay here for more than a year and there will still be things for you to see and to experience. I don't think I would trade it for anywhere else, if I'm being honest.
Wow.
Yeah. Obviously, I would go on trips and I would love to check out other places, but to live, I really like it here.
Yeah, I mean, when I was taking my drive from the airport to this neighborhood, it took like 1.5 hours of driving. And you just notice what a huge city this is, and you know, obviously there are people living in very poor situations, and then you see beautiful like modern apartments too, and that drive kind of showed me the different faces of Sao Paulo and maybe the different faces of Brazil, you know.
As any major city, I would say especially in developing countries, lots of extremes. Neighborhoods that aren't so privileged, I would say.
Yeah.
And then you can be at the most expensive square meter on South America, you know, from a 15-minute drive.
I just have to take a moment. My first acai in Brazil. Cheers, Lucas.
Cheers, man.
How do you say in Brazil? Cheers.
Saúde.
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 Perfect.
Okay, then we can talk about what's up. And I give you
Okay, man. See you around.
see you.
Yeah.
See you,
Nice to
Christian.
meet you.
See you, Christian.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, so our friend Christian has left. He said his Brazilian wife was wondering where he was. He told us if you have a Brazilian wife, they will always be worried about you whenever you go out on your own. So if you're a Brazilian who's watching, let us know if that is true.
Obrigado.
Chapter 2. The Purple Tree.
So you might have noticed this is one of my longer YouTube videos. Projects like this are made possible thanks to the sponsors on this channel, and today's video is brought to you by our friends at Mysterium VPN. You've probably heard of VPNs before. As a traveler, I really appreciate using them to have a secure and reliable way to access the websites I want to use. To give an example, sometimes the movie streaming websites I use, when I try to log in with my Canadian ID in places like South America, it just won't let me in. But fear no more with Mysterium VPN. What makes Mysterium special is that it's decentralized, and it's powered by over 30,000 users in 135 locations around the world. This makes it virtually impossible for websites to detect you're using a VPN. This means nothing can stop me from watching Christmas movies. I don't actually watch many Christmas movies, but if I did, Mysterium VPN would have me covered. And right now for the holidays, they have a really cool special going on where you can save up to 80% off their subscription plans. Just use the discount code GIFT and check out the link down below. Now let's get back to the streets of Sao Paulo. Thankfully, Lucas is still here and he recommended a park. Where are we going to now, Lucas?
We are going to People's Park.
People's Park.
In Portuguese would be Parque do Povo.
Parque do Povo.
Um excelente dia para você.
Muito obrigado.
Opa.
Okay.
Thanks so much, man.
In Mexico, if you close the car door, you need to be very soft, because if you slam the door, it is like so rude.
Yes.
In Mexico, is that the same here in Brazil? You need to be really careful.
That applies here, yes.
Okay. A lot of foreigners I talk to, they get low ratings on Uber. They just close too hard. They want to make it closed, and the person is like really disrespected.
Exactly. We have a saying that when people do that, it's because they don't have a fridge at home, so they don't have the practice.
Deixa registrado que você está ciente das
Dele ou meu?
do
Ele não é
responsável
brasileiro.
pela...
New travel.
The New Travel.
Obrigado, seja bem-vindo ao parque.
Obrigado. As an example of a situation where having a local guide who speaks some Portuguese helps a lot. Thank you, Lucas.
Always a pleasure.
And here we are, Parque do Povo.
When we get to the middle of it, you can see that one side we have a lot of old-looking buildings. I would say a bit of dated architecture. And when we look to the other side, there are lots of skyscrapers, futuristic-looking buildings.
Wow. I didn't even notice behind us until Lucas pointed that out, kind of the two faces of Sao Paulo.
Ali, ó. Tá vendo? Ó?
The purple one?
Ali, ó. Tá vendo que o espelho parece que tem um espelho embaixo da planta, da árvore?
Sim. Então, a roxa e a amarela.
A amarela tá ali do outro lado.
Muito obrigado.
Obrigado.
Ah, imagina. Aí fica, eu acho que fica bonito, né?
Fica legal.
Tá vendo aí, ó, né?
Muito obrigado.
Uma dica.
Valeu. He's saying that there's a tree
Yeah.
that it looks like it has a mirror on the floor.
Friendly security guards here in Brazil. Once again, I thought, oh no, the guy's coming over, he's going to tell me not to film. But no, he wanted to tell us about this tree. Wow, look at that.
So he was saying that this tree looks like there is a mirror on the floor because of the leaves that fell down. So that was what he said. We should come here because of the tree.
I swear, this guy was like the most wholesome security guard I've seen in my life. You know, we're walking through the park, the security guy's following us. I'm thinking, oh, someone else isn't going to want me to film in here. He comes over and he just wants to show us his favorite tree. Like he's leading us to his favorite tree in the park. What a legend.
What is your name?
Ellen,
Ellen. Nice to meet you, Ellen.
nice to meet you.
And the question is, how many languages do you speak?
I speak 2 languages. Well, actually 3.
Yeah.
My original language is Portuguese from Brazil.
Yeah.
And I do speak a little bit of English, which is a little rusty now. I used to speak very well, but now I don't know. I have to go somewhere to practice more. And the same for my French. Je peux parler français aussi, mais c'est pas très bien maintenant parce qu'on pratique pas. Je suis étudiée à Paris pour 3 fois.
Wow.
Quand j'étais plus jeune, mon père, il travaillait dans
Ouais.
une entreprise française. Donc, il parle français et il voudrait que moi et ma sœur, on peut parler aussi. Et il est marié avec une Française aussi.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, last question. What is something you like about Brazil?
I like that people are really happy all the time. That's really special. And I think the nature is really good and it's really beautiful. I'm from Rio, so it's a very beautiful city.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm from there, and I still get like overwhelmed with the beauty of the city. But I think my favorite part is the warm feelings that Brazilians have. I don't know. I'm really proud of my people. I have a channel on YouTube too.
Really?
A podcast, yeah.
Wow, I met a podcaster. This is so cool.
Yeah.
In Portuguese or English? Portuguese,
It's
right?
Portuguese, yeah.
Ellen Jabo.
Yeah.
Well, very nice to meet you, Ellen.
Yeah,
This is
very
great.
nice to meet you too.
Só o português mesmo.
Okay. And I'll use my great translator to ask.
Okay.
If you could learn another language, what would it be?
Se você pudesse aprender qualquer outra língua no mundo, qual seria?
Inglês.
English. Why English?
E por que inglês?
Porque inglês serve para todos os países, né? O inglês é a língua que todos os países a gente consegue conversar com as pessoas, né?
Muito obrigado. He said that English is the number 1 language if you want to communicate in every country. It's
Yeah.
useful everywhere.
As you can see, you do definitely meet Brazilians who only speak Portuguese. But what I really admire about the culture here is how open people are to listen and to be part of the video. Even though they can't understand me, they're still open, they're still wanting to help. Okay, Brazilian, are there like state flags too?
Okay. You're really
Kind of hard to see,
you're
right?
really testing me right now. But the first one is the bank flag, so Santander flag.
Okay.
The second one is from the state of São Paulo.
Yeah.
The third one is Brazilian flag. The fourth one is the Spanish flag
Okay, wow.
from Spain because the bank is Spanish. And the other two looks like they are from the bank.
Okay,
as well.
the black and white one, that's the state flag?
That's the state flag.
That's a cool flag. I don't think any banks in Canada have their own flag. You know, it's a big bank when
Yeah.
they're like a country now. They're like, yeah, we have our own flag, we have our own.
It's the first time I notice it, but yeah.
We're as important as the country, you know, we have our own flag. Yeah, a really nice modern area of Sao Paulo.
And
Like
they
a
are
beach bar.
A beach bar, and they are popping out everywhere.
But you already have so many beaches in Brazil. You have to build beaches in the middle of Sao Paulo now too.
Yeah, because we don't want to drive. we want to take like the metro to the beach.
To the beach.
My name is Daniel.
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 Mismo. Daniel.
Daniel.
Dan, sí.
Oh,
Yeah.
my nome artístico é MCDS, só bem.
His artistic name is MC
DS.
BS.
MC Diaz.
DS.
How many languages do you speak?
Eu falo uma língua, só que inglês eu falo bem pouco.
Okay, little bit English.
Little bit in English.
And you sing?
Sim,
Música.
canto.
Can you sing for us?
Eu lembrei das antigas, eu sonhava com a Porsche. Essas raparigas só queriam ibope. Minha coroa chorava e orava pra melhor. Hoje eu posso e dar tudo de bom pra minha senhora, mas sei que nem sempre foi assim. Tive que cair pra evoluir. Tive um corte, hoje eu tô de Mansori. Minha família tá morando em Paris, mas sei que nem sempre foi assim. Tive que cair pra evoluir. Tive um corte, hoje eu tô de Mansori. Minha família tá morando em Paris. E se me viu numa hall é mentira, porque eu tava na goma de sua amiga. Ela transa noite e dia, cara de santa, mas na cama ela domina. A pior coisa foi cair no seu papo, quase tomou meu coração de assalto. Só que agora conto os placos, não me iludo com essas putas. Eu tô com pataque pra quem não tinha o que comer. Segue à vontade, como elas vão ter. Cardápio eu mandei trazer, só picanha e puta de SP. E pra quem não tinha o que comer, segue à vontade, como elas vão ter. E o cardápio eu mandei trazer.
Oh, man.
Sabe, bigode?
Daniel, wow. Quantas línguas você fala?
Uma só. Português, só.
Português. If you could learn another, what would it be?
Gostaria de aprender inglês e espanhol. Coreano tem um pouco de...
Why coreano?
Porque eu gosto de K-pop e
K-pop.
dorama. Gosto muito. Queria aprender.
What is your favorite K-pop?
BTS, né? Certeza.
What is your name?
My name is Juliana.
Juliana.
Yes.
How many languages do you speak?
Portuguese and English is so-so.
So.
So-so.
If you could learn another language, what would it be?
English, Spanish, Mandarim.
Mandarin.
Yeah.
Por quê?
Acho que tem de ser uma língua que ainda vai dominar aí o mundo. Eu acredito, pelo menos.
Good pizza, good drinks.
Lucas was just saying we're coming up to a famous piece of artwork, I guess? Statue artwork?
Yeah.
The whale?
He's the whale of Faria Lima. So it's a bit of a meme.
It's a meme.
It's a meme. Yeah.
Brazilians love their memes, I know that.
Yeah, we do.
Look at the beautiful wildlife of Brazil. We found a whale. Oh, we can go inside the whale.
Yeah.
What other adventures await in Brazil? Stay tuned. Tomorrow, the adventure continues.
Chapter 3. The Cashew Soda.
Good morning, YouTube. I have my sunglasses on today because I had quite a few cervejas, I think they say here in Brazil. I had a few beers last night, Friday night in Sao Paulo, and it was actually an interesting situation because, okay, all day long they said the storm might be coming, and so I was afraid when I was out filming with Lucas that at any moment we might get a big storm. But all day long, the storm held off. It was like, where's the storm? They keep saying a storm is coming. Every hour they say the storm's coming. It never came. Until the evening, when suddenly out of nowhere, it was like a monsoon. And then suddenly it was thundering and lightninging, and the whole sky was full of lightning, and it was just like, what is happening? And I guess it knocked out some power cables because half of this neighborhood had no power. And I was walking around, and let's just say the party doesn't stop in Brazil just because there's no electricity. People were still having drinks, and people were continuing their night. But today, after a strong coffee, I'm ready for a new day. And we got something really exciting today because I'm going to be meeting up with Fabio, who is another viewer of this channel, who is a Paulista, which means a local from Sao Paulo. And he recommended we meet at this restaurant which specializes in food from the northeast of Brazil. I don't really know what to expect, but all the food I've had so far in Brazil has been great. So I'm going to share this meal with you all and then see what we get up to after that. Wow, they're busy today. They just said there's a wait of 40 minutes. Thankfully, they have these beach chairs outside. I love how they do this. They just take over part of the street with their chairs. In Canada, we would all be standing outside the restaurant. I'm going to try to get this right. Jesuino. Brilliant.
Yeah?
Brilliant.
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
Here with my new friend Fabio.
Hi, guys.
Thanks for taking me to this really cool restaurant. I can't wait for this.
This is like one of my favorite places in the city here.
I'm so grateful to be here. Maybe I should ask you the famous question. How many languages do you speak?
Okay, yeah, I speak like maybe 4 if you ask me, like mainly Portuguese, which is my native language.
Yeah.
Also English, because I don't know, like I sort of chose English over Japanese because I don't know, like everybody says you should learn English, and I sort of like enjoying like mainly US movies and stuff, so it was like handy for me. My third language I would say it's Japanese, but I don't really speak it that often.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my father says it's a shame because like he's Japanese and he wanted me to know more Japanese by now, but it's like work in progress, I guess. And also French. Je parle un peu. I don't know. I was living in Montreal for 6 months, and then I took like French classes with like a very Quebecois lady.
Is Japanese useful in Sao Paulo? Or not so much? You don't have many chances to speak?
Sometimes like grandmas that are also from Japanese origin, there are plenty of them here. Like sometimes I say something in Japanese, then they get happy and get me like candy or stuff.
Free candy is always a good reason to learn a language, I think. That's a very good reason.
Yeah, so you just like pick a little from each thing and then you try it all together. It can be like mandioca, macaxeira.
I love that cheese. Wow. So this will every Brazilian know this, or this is like a very special drink?
I mean, here in the south, I don't think it's as famous as in the north.
Yeah.
So like even if you go to like the market, they don't really usually sell this.
Okay, YouTube, we have cashew soda. Brazilian cashew soda. Wow.
Oh, sure. Oh, thanks. Yeah.
How do I say saúde?
Saúde.
Saúde. Check this out, YouTube. We have so much street art here in Sao Paulo. Even the McDonald's has beautiful artwork outside. But right now we're just gonna grab a coffee at a little spot called The Coffee. Oh, is it kind of like a Japanese style coffee shop?
So
I see they have.
It's meant to be like it's just to pretend. Actually, it's Brazilian, but they branded it to look very Japanese. The owners went to Japan to do research on that.
Ah, okay.
So that's why. But it's basically made in the south of Brazil.
Let's see if I can figure out the Portuguese menu. This looks like a drip coffee.
Yeah.
Colados. Oh, hot chip, it's making it easy for me.
Yeah, but they usually have like those sort of signature beverages also.
I'm a simple guy. I'm going to try the hot chip. And so Fabio, maybe you can help me solve a mystery I've been having. Why is it so many Japanese people moved to Sao Paulo in the first place?
Back in the day, Japan wasn't really as like futuristic as it is today. It was mainly like agricultural place. And on the other hand, Brazil was in need of like workforce for the coffee bean plantations. So I guess it joined like two different things that Japanese and Brazilian were looking for.
We are venturing into the Sao Paulo metro. My first time taking the subway in the city.
There's one YouTuber from, I guess he's from Vancouver actually.
You watch a lot of YouTube, don't you?
Not, I mean maybe.
Okay, where are we and where are we going?
Okay, so we are like, where is it? So we are here, Clinica Station. We are going to this station here.
Okay, so
danvineberg, which is.
Oh, they actually have Japan in the name.
Yeah, they changed it recently actually. Yeah. You wanna try? Yeah, I mean maybe it will work. If you're a tourist, basically you can't really get subway tickets.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that YouTube, but I tried paying with my card and it just says invalid. So as I understand it, as of now in 2024, it's impossible to buy a ticket with a card which is not from Brazil. If anyone from Brazil Transit happens to see this video, please fix it because this is a beautiful subway system you have and people like me want to enjoy it. Wow, this is...
I mean, it's very modern. They even have like those forecasts.
But also the TV looks like it's from 1995.
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry, Brazil, I'm not trying to laugh. But very beautiful modern station, but the TV is a bit... I remember TVs like that from my childhood. I gotta say, I'm really impressed by how clean everything is. I mean, this is cleaner than the subway in Montreal. Just like, look at the floor, it's spotless. I feel like I can eat my dinner off this. I won't, but I feel like I could. Wow. It's a pretty interesting place. You sure I'm okay filming in here?
Yeah, I can see.
You're a brave guy, brave guy. We're going to the front.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm really impressed by like the sense of style in Sao Paulo. People are dressed really well and like really, there's like a really cool style here.
I guess we all use as inspiration like New York City or those other big cities.
Yeah. This is the first driverless train in Brazil. Here we go. Welcome to Liberdade.
Yeah.
Or maybe I should say Japão Liberdade. You were just explaining that the subway stop here was renamed, right?
Yeah, because like maybe 5 years ago, the politicians decided to call it here like Japão Liberdade because this neighborhood has a lot of like Japanese stores and Japanese related culture things. But then, well, like some people argue that this name change erased this history of the neighborhood. Yeah.
Because Liberdade means liberty, right?
Yeah.
And you were explaining off camera that this area, there's a church with a deep connection to the slave history in Brazil, and it has a very important historical context too, right?
This is where the slaves used to be like executed at a church nearby, so that's why it's called Liberdade.
We're not going to focus too much on that history here, but I think it is really important to share. But as we walk outside, you can already see, as Fabio was telling me, there's a very busy part of the city, a lot of interesting subcultures here. Okay, here we go.
So you see like people.
Oh my God, YouTube! Look at these crowds. And so this tells me that there's a lot of Brazilians interested in Asian culture, right? Like seeing all the crowds here, seeing all the interest.
I think it's become more famous nowadays after like I don't know, like because I remember being a kid and people didn't really like appreciate Japanese or Asian culture as much as today.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like
Well,
nowadays it's like this here.
look around, Fabio. They do now. They do now. It's just something else.
I speak English a little bit. I'm learning. Has been 3 years that I started to learn English,
Yeah.
and I made like 2 months of Spanish.
Is it hard learning English? What has it been like for you?
Oh man, I think English is really easy.
Yeah?
Like the other languages is really hard. You know, Portuguese is hard too, but English, I think it's dynamic to learn English. You know.
Amazing. What's your name, bro?
My name is Gabriel.
Gabriel.
Sure.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Quantas línguas você fala? Did I say it right? Quantas línguas você fala? Português.
Português. Eu falo uma língua só.
The new travel. I ask this question in many different cities. Today I am in Sao Paulo.
How much countries did you travel to?
Almost 50.
50?
Yeah.
Nice, man.
You like to travel?
Man, now I don't have the money. I really like to go to US, man.
US.
Because since I was a kid, I just consume a lot of content from US, and I play basketball. So I love US and all the style, from US country.
How many languages do you speak?
One half.
One half.
Portuguese is very bad.
Yeah.
And English very bad too.
Where are you from?
Here, Brazil.
Sao Paulo.
No, near from city, Mogi das Cruzes.
Ah, do you know?
Oh, it's like a city, like 1 hour.
Yeah, 1 hour.
So
Yeah.
Japanese first language?
No.
No.
Second language.
Second language.
Yeah, my grandfather from Japan.
Yeah.
And my mother and father born here in Brazil.
What do you think of Brazil? You like Brazil? You like your country?
Good. Have something good and very things bad. So, it's a country good to live.
Good food.
Yeah. Yes. Good food.
Nice, friendly people.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, brother.
See ya.
Thank you so much.
I speak 3: English, Portuguese, and Japanese. Japanese I speak a little bit.
Little bit.
I started yesterday.
Why did you learn Japanese?
Because my girlfriend family is Japanese, and I try to understand what they say.
Wow. Could you say one thing in Japanese for me?
Watashi wa Enhiku desu.
And what does that mean?
My name is Enhiku.
Hello.
Feira das Deusas. Isso.
God is fair.
Fair, isso.
God is fair.
God is.
For you.
Muito obrigado. So kind.
Isso é tatuagem?
Não, é...
não, é imã.
É imã.
isso
fala
é
português.
Fala.
What is your name? How do I...
My name is Matuta.
Matuta.
Pleasure.
So we just walked through this market and we found a really cool beer setup right on the side of an old van or something.
Yeah.
What would you like?
IPA. Aham. Esse. Tem 3 tamanhos, né? Isso. Você fala brasileiro? Eu falo. Então vai. Não, ele é do Canadá.
Oh, Canada.
Tá
falando
Brazil. What's he say?
Você é japonês? Aham. Você? Eu também sou. Então fala Nihongo que é mais fácil? Nihongo janai.少し。お父さんは日本人です。でも私。Não, meu pai é de Okinawa. Aí ele falou só inclusive, se você quiser depois ele tava. Which one do you?
Same. IPA, IPA. Same, please. Wow.
She was telling me that majority of people that is in the city.
Obrigado, viu?
Obrigado. Muito obrigado.
Obrigado. Aqui no Brasil, obrigado, viu? De nada.
What were you talking about with that interesting woman?
Oh no, she was just like joking because like at first I was like struggling to say the name of the because like in English it's IPA and here it's like
IPA, IPA.
You just say IPA and then I was like struggling with that and then she was like, oh, but you're a Brazilian, right? And then she started saying that like I should speak Japanese, but then she also doesn't speak Japanese, so
she doesn't speak Japanese.
Yeah, no. So
I thought you were speaking Japanese a little bit. It was just Portuguese.
Oh no,
right?
yeah, I thought she spoke a little, but then
okay.
she understands it clearly, but then she doesn't know how to respond, and then
okay.
yeah. But she was funny, nevertheless.
Yeah, she was cool. She was cool.
Yeah.
Good energy.
My Japanese-related family members, they are usually like a little bit conservative.
Yeah.
A little, on the conservative side. But then I usually have like a lot of encounters with like Japanese-related people who are very like talkative, happy to speak with me.
Personality of a Brazilian.
Yeah. They have like the Brazilian personality, but with the Japanese like spice, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. This feels very Japanese to me.
Yeah, because like you don't have like to talk to anyone. You just order from the machine here, and you press the button here, and then you pay with card. And it's very Japanesey.
Oh man, that looks good. If I was hungry, I would have one of those plates. My inner 10-year-old is coming to life. I loved Charmander and of course Pikachu, the classic. When I played the game on my Game Boy, I always got Charmander. Then it became Charmeleon and then Charizard. Yeah, I remember my Pokemon. This is famous here. What is it?
It's called Pingu.
Pingu.
Here it says in Japanese even like Pingu. It's like.
It's just a little penguin, or what's
just
the story?
A little penguin. It's just famous here in Brazil. I just got happy to see it.
Okay, just wanted to give a quick thank you once again to Fabio, the man of the hour, for the great tour today.
Oh, thank you. Like
we only showed you a little bit of Liberdade. It's a crazy area with all the sound and all the people, but a lot of good food, a lot of good shopping, a lot of interesting characters. I would recommend coming here if you make it to Sao Paulo. Any last words do you want to say about the city?
I don't feel like I am the best tour guide, but like if any one of you want some recommendations on like what to see, what to like try in the city, like we have like different cuisines from all around the world, so that's why I like the city. So
well, you have a big heart, you know. You reached out, you showed me around, and I think it was a great day, great food.
I liked when I was in Montreal and some locals showed me the city as local, so I tried to do my best as the local here, showing people around, I guess.
You have the traveler spirit. What's your name?
Louis.
Nice to meet you, Louis.
Nice to meet
You're
you.
from Sao Paulo?
Yes. Born and raised.
Born and raised. Paulista.
Yes. Well, we have.
Or is that not the right word?
Paulista is the name for the person who is born in the state of São Paulo. Paulistano is the person who is born in the city of São Paulo.
Interesting.
So like, I am a Paulistano. There are some people who are just Paulistas, but every Paulistano is, of course, a Paulista too.
Very interesting. Well, the question is, how many languages do you speak?
I speak English, Spanish, Portuguese, of course, and Russian, and I'm currently learning French.
Wow, you're a linguist. How did you learn so many?
I think it's the only thing in my life that I have like that is naturally easy for me to do.
Yeah.
Basically.
Can you tell me in Russian what is something you like about Brazil?
Да, конечно. Я очень люблю мои люди, бразильский народ. Я очень люблю мой народ. Я очень люблю мою природу. Мою природу это только четверг. Только четверг. Я очень люблю тоже мои города. Мои города трудно, нелегко. Но это очень красивый тоже. Да.
And now, I don't speak Russian. Can you translate for me what you said?
with a broken Russian, but a Russian person will, of course, be able to understand me, that I love my people, I love my nature, and I also love my cities. My cities are not easy, like they are rough.
Yeah.
But there's still a beauty on it. They're still beautiful.
Well, you know, we were just ending the video for today. That was such an interesting interview. So thank you so much. Molto obrigado for saying hello.
Chapter 4. The Late Night Pizza.
Wow. Okay. A lot has happened since I spoke to you last. A bit of a scary situation here in Sao Paulo. I'm going to tell you what happened. I'm not going to over dramatize this to make it seem like, oh, you know, some clickbait, scary YouTube story. But I'm also not going to hide the reality because this was something I have never experienced in all my travels.
The day before, you know, I was talking about there had been this warning about a big storm, and then a big storm had come through. It had knocked out the power in part of the Pinheiros neighborhood. Saturday I go out, I'm filming with Fabio, we go to Liberdade, all that stuff happens. You know, it's Saturday night, I go out, I have some food, I have a caipirinha, and then when I go home, so this is what happens. The place I'm staying at has this gate, and they give you a little key with a button. It's not a physical key, it's a button you press that unlocks the gate, you walk in. I'm pressing the button and it's not clicking, it's not opening. So I'm like, this is weird, my button's not working. So then I just try pushing the gate, and I notice it's just open. Like my key hasn't opened it. It's just, oh, I can just push it open. That's kind of weird. And then I go inside, and all the power is cut. There's no power.
This is crazy. The place I'm staying at, I just got back. There's no power. Look how dark this is.
There's a little staircase that goes up to my room and the other rooms. Someone has left a little candle on the side of the steps, so you can like kind of see the way up the stairs. I put the puzzle pieces together. I'm like, okay, we lost power. This is a small family-run place that I'm staying at, so well, it's not a family, but like it's a small place that I'm staying at. So the staff, they go home at night, right? So the power must have gone out. The person working at night left a little candle and went home. So it's just us. Me and the other guests. But at this moment, I don't see anyone. I feel like I'm alone in this place. I'm like, okay, whatever. I go to my room. I wish I could charge my phone. I wish I could, you know, check the Wi-Fi. I don't even think I have a SIM card at this point. So like I'm completely cut off from any information on what's happening. But it's okay. This is not the bad part yet. This is just kind of setting the scene for what happened. As I'm in my room, suddenly I hear this big scream, a very loud scream from outside the window. And I'm kind of thinking like, ooh, I hope that's not as close as it sounded. It sounds loud, but again, I'm tired from a long day, the window's closed, I don't really know what's going on. But then I hear some running, and I swear, I hear something on the roof. I swear, there was like some banging on the roof. And I'm thinking to myself, ooh, okay, welcome to Brazil. What's going on up there? But again, we just had a big storm. I was kind of thinking, did like a tree branch fall? Like, did a tree just fall? Like, what's, you know? But yeah, it's hard to tell how far away these sounds are coming from. And I don't know, it's pitch black. I don't want to go out there and people are screaming and like banging on the roof. So I just chill out in my room. But then some time passes and, you know, there's no internet, I'm bored, so I have a beer in the fridge. So I go have my beer, and there's a little common area terrace. It's pitch black now, but it's outside, and, you know, if someone else arrives, I can talk to them, do something. So I go out there to have my beer, and I'm just sitting there in the dark, you know. Then I can just barely see the street from where I'm sitting. And then I see there's a cop car outside of our guest house. Like the police have arrived with their lights on. And I'm like, ooh, that's kind of strange. Okay. You know, other than the you know, Brazilian German who I interviewed earlier, I only really met 2 other people from the guest house. They were much younger than me. They were two girls who were visiting from Salvador. And they came to Sao Paulo for a concert. One of them spoke a little bit of English. The other one didn't. So, we said hello. I asked them what they were doing here. And, we kind of knew each other, but not really. But then as I'm sitting there in the darkness, the two girls from Brazil, like, they go running past me. Running down the stairs, running past me to the street. And then I look out and they're talking with the police. A moment later, they come back with two police officers, and there's a policewoman, and she has her gun pointed forward, like in my direction. And so I'm immediately just like, I speak English. Hey, I'm a tourist. I wasn't. I don't know what I was about to say. I wasn't like feeling in danger, but I don't know what I was feeling. It happened so quickly. It was just kind of a natural instinct. Hey, I just wanted to identify myself because it was so dark, and I didn't want them to. But then, like there's a policeman or policewoman. The policewoman has her gun out, and then like she just took a look at me and it was like, okay, like gringo, kept walking. She didn't say that, but it was just like the thought of like, okay, this guy is not what we're looking for. But at that moment, I didn't know what they were looking for. And as the two police officers are like slowly walking, I ask the Brazilian girl who speaks some English, I'm like, hey, like, is everything okay? What's going on? And she's like, no, not okay. Someone is here. Someone is here. And I'm like, someone is here? Who's? I'm thinking like, who's here? What the heck's going on? And then I remember the screaming. I remember the noise on the roof. I remember the running. Basically, the police walked through the whole building and were like kind of checking every room to see if some criminals were hiding in the darkness. But I'm so confused. It's like a dream that I'm in. I actually filmed like, this was as the police were leaving. I filmed this. The situation was calm by this point, but I filmed this just to, have some proof for myself the next day that this wasn't all like a crazy dream or something, because it felt like a dream. So anyway, the police checked the rooms, and then they were speaking some Portuguese. I guess they figured out that no one was here, and then they just left. I mean, they walked to the street. The two Brazilian girls like followed them out. I followed them out too. I was like literally barefoot with a beer in hand, and I was just like, "Hey, I'm not staying here on my own. Like, it's pitch black, and you check the rooms, but like that was a pretty fast check, But then the police, they just talked to the girls, and then like that's it. They're ready to leave, and then basically what I found out was when the two Brazilian girls came in, they were immediately followed by some criminals. I didn't get all the details. They were the girls were kind of traumatized. Like, they didn't want to talk about it a lot, which is understandable. Like, I'm curious about the situation, but I didn't see it. They saw it, and they were obviously scared in that moment. So, it's not their fault they didn't want to talk to me, but I wasn't getting all the information because they were just like ready to talk to the police and then go to bed, But actually something really funny happened. Like, as the police were leaving, again, like all this crazy stuff is happening. The police are ready to leave, and then simultaneously, at the same moment, this delivery motorbike arrives with pizza, and it's for the two girls. Like, they grab the pizza and then they go inside. And so it was like something from a movie. Like, they had both called the police and ordered pizza, and this was both happening at the same time. So they took their pizza, they went back, the police left. And then, I before they like went and had their pizza, I asked enough to understand that they had seen the criminals, they had called the cops, they had, I asked them if they called the owners of the hotel. I thought someone should call the owners, because no one is here. But they said no, and then they wanted to eat their pizza and go to bed. I was thinking someone should call the owners, but again, I don't even have a SIM card. There's no internet. It's like 1:30 in the morning at this point. So I went to my room and I got ready to go to bed. Actually, I didn't go to bed. What I did was I literally, because like, you know, the police checked, but the gate is still open. And so I didn't feel safe at all. I felt like, you know, there's like a 10 to 20% chance that the criminals just wait half an hour, then come back, and like they know there's no owners, they know there's no power, like they can just rob us. So I literally took my laptop and my passport and I like hid it under the mattress in a place that I thought no one would see it. And I was already doing the mental math. I was thinking to myself, like, if some criminal comes in through that door, what am I going to give them? And I was like, they're going to get my camera because my camera's too big to hide. They're going to get my phone because if I say I don't have a phone, they're not going to believe me. They'll probably get my wallet, but they're not going to get my passport and they're not going to get my laptop. That was like what I was going to bed thinking as I locked the door, locked the window. So, yeah, it was a stressful night, to say the least. Stressful Saturday night in Sao Paulo. But the next morning, so picture this, the next morning, the receptionist arrives, and I'm having my coffee, and I say to the guy, hey man, you know what happened last night? And he's like, yeah, I know, like, we lost the power. And I was like, no man, like, not the power, the police were here. And he looks at me, he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah man, like, the police were called. Somebody broke in to this place. And he's looking at me like, what are you talking about? I was like, did you talk to the two girls from Salvador? And he's like, no. And then I showed him the little, like, thing that I just showed you of the police in their doorway. And he's just like, and I'm like, yeah, man, like, I only have half the story. You got to talk to them. They called the police. They saw the criminals, I think. But honestly, I don't even know if the two Salvador girls talked to them. I just, I think in the morning they just like kind of checked out and left. I think they were honestly a bit like I said, they were younger and maybe they'd never been to Sao Paulo. I think they were a bit like traumatized by this experience of traveling on their own, and I don't blame them. It's, but yeah, so the guy is asking me, he's like, what did they say to you? What did the girls say? And I was like, nothing, man. They just called the cops. They talked to the cops, and then they ordered pizza, and they got the pizza, and they went to bed. And then he said something really funny. The receptionist, he's like, oh yeah, that's kind of like a tradition in Brazil. We say if something bad happens, you order pizza. Oh, it was so funny. I don't know. Is it really a tradition in Brazil? I thought that was like such a funny thing to say. But, you know, in all honesty, after this experience, I no longer felt safe staying here in this place. I'm not naming the establishment. I don't want people to try and figure out where I was staying and to get them in trouble. The staff were nice. The accommodation was clean. You know, I think there was a security risk with the gate, but it probably wasn't their problem. There was a power outage, you know. This was a very unusual set of events. So I don't blame them. But the next day the power was still not back, and we had no idea when the power was coming back. And my whole neighborhood had no power, so I didn't even have another place down the street I could move to. I packed my bags and I got out of there. I was planning to stay one more night, but I got out of there. So picture this, like there's no power, so I haven't even charged my phone. My phone battery is like almost dead. My laptop is almost dead. But I just look up like anywhere I can go to the beach. And I find this place called São Sebastião, which is a few hours away. And I have like an hour to get to the bus, and I just say to myself, I'm doing it. I'm leaving this place. I'm out of here. I'll share some final thoughts in a moment here to wrap up this video, but here's the footage of me rushing to the bus station.
It was a rough night, but we live to travel another day. And this is the reality of travel sometimes, you know. I share the good times that I've experienced here in Sao Paulo. I gotta share the rough moments as well. So let's grab my suitcase, let's get in the Uber, let's get to that bus station. Muito obrigado. Bom dia, bye. Okay. It's 1:05. The bus I want to catch leaves at 1:30. And I don't have my ticket yet. So we're gonna see if in 25 minutes I can navigate this enormous station, buy a ticket, find the bus, and hopefully get some food too, because I haven't eaten yet today, but we'll see if I can pull this off. This could be tricky. Bilheterias is probably tickets. Hola.
Passagem. Onde compra passagem?
Sim.
Primeira esquerda.
Ok. Obrigado. Okay, I spoke to a random guy at a random ticket booth, and he wrote down the name of the ticket company I need to find. I think this is it. Because yeah, there's like 30 different ticket companies. Ah, here, São Sebastião. There it is. Okay, I got 20 minutes to buy my ticket, find the bus, get on the bus, hopefully get food. So far so good. I got my ticket. Platform 43. Oh, Subway. Do I have time for Subway? Oh no, there's a lineup. I can't do Subway. What will be fast? What will be fast? Some fruit. We made it. I would have loved a sandwich, but this is all I had time to grab. But most importantly, we made it.
Chapter 5. Dancing through the chaos. Did this leave a bad taste in my mouth? Did it change how I think about Sao Paulo, how I think about Brazil? No. It was a stressful night. It was a stressful situation. And I share it because it's the truth. And I think we can't be afraid to talk about the truth. We can't be... I think as travel creators, it's irresponsible to... There's two things that are irresponsible. If you're someone who's making videos that are just talking trash about another country and focusing on the worst and showing, poverty and crime and saying, oh, this place is so much worse than where I live, that is very irresponsible and rude. But also, if you're doing something that is just positive and saying everything's fine, come down here, don't worry, use your phones on the street at night, you have nothing to worry about, I feel totally safe here walking around my own. That is also irresponsible. That is going to lead people into a false sense of security. Both versions are false in opposite directions. The truth is messy. Sometimes the truth hurts. Sometimes the truth of traveling is, you hope for the best, but you always got to prepare for the worst. I feel grateful that, first of all, this doesn't change my opinion of Sao Paulo, which is a fascinating city. And all of the amazing people who I showed you in this video, who open their hearts, and everyone I talked to, I made an Instagram story just briefly saying that there'd been an attempted robbery at the place I'm staying, I'm okay. So many messages from Brazilians offering support, saying, I'm sorry this happened to you. One or two people actually saying, this is why we left Brazil and moved to another country. And so that is the real tragedy in some sense about Brazil. And it's one of the ironic things about the world that I've noticed. countries like Canada that are relatively secure, we still have some problems, but relatively secure, relatively safe. So many of my friends, even myself sometimes, people just feel like, oh, Canada, it's not as good as it used to be. Oh, it's too cold, it's too expensive. Like, we're always kind of in this negative state of mind. And then you talk to Brazilians who live in a country that in some ways is very chaotic. You know, we're talking about a place where this big storm rolls through and you all lose power, and the power company is corrupt, so even if they say the power is going to be back tomorrow, it could be gone for 2 weeks. Like, Brazilians don't trust the power company, and you know, criminals are using this as a chance to break into places. And yet the Brazilians you meet, you know, they dance, they sing, they laugh, they love, they continue to have these huge hearts and these huge spirits, this beautiful huge spirit through the chaos. That's the lesson from my trip to Sao Paulo. It's like, if you focus on the bad parts of Sao Paulo, then you might feel like, oh, I'm never going to go here. This is unsafe. This place is crazy, you know? But if you focus on the people in Sao Paulo, the people, if you allow their energy and their perspective to touch your heart, then you can realize something much deeper. You can realize that, honestly, you know, even if someone had stolen my phone, stolen my camera, stolen my laptop, those are just material possessions, and they can eventually be replaced. But I'm still here. You're still here. You still have the ability to laugh, to dance, to sing. These things cost nothing. And that's the spirit of Sao Paulo. You know, dancing through the chaos. Living life even when there's no power, you know. It's a remarkable thing, and that is what I remember about Sao Paulo. Maybe even when something bad happens to me, I will order pizza. Instead of staying in my room, just being scared, being like, oh, I gotta hide my stuff, and oh, I'm, you know, just feeding that bad energy. Maybe next time I will feed my stomach with a pizza and relax. It's the Brazilian way.
Any last thing you want to say from people around the world who might see this?
Brazil is a lot better than you think, probably. And it's also a lot worse than you think if you have a good image of Brazil. It's just not what you think. Come here and just discover. You're gonna be surprised no matter what. I can guarantee you that.
Respect, brother. Thank you so much.
Where are you from?
I'm from Canada.
Oh, you look very Canadian.
I look Canadian.
Yeah, because you are very nice.
Okay,
you know.
Okay.
And I heard that Canadian people are very nice.
But we're like nice and quiet. Brazilians are like nice and like outgoing.
Yeah, of course.
Brazilians are like, oh, come to my house, have a beer. Canadians are like, we can help you with directions.
Yes. You guys are
nice,
you guys are like the other side of the coin, but the coin is the same.
The coin is the same.
The coin is the same. Like, we are the loud, nice people. You guys are the quiet, nice people, and this very.
And you're
nice.
the biggest from South America. We're the biggest in North America.
Oh,
So
yeah. Of course.
Twin countries. Amazing.
And we are also mostly empty, and you guys are also mostly empty.
yeah.
So, yeah.